Okay, the Israeli Defense Force was one of the first to confirm the release of Natalie and her mom. And joining me now for more details on the release, Major Doron Spielman, international spokesperson for the IDF. Doron, thanks for being with us. I mean, you just heard from Yuri. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that to hear from him that his daughter and his ex-wife are going to be coming home. It's unbelievable. Do you have any more information about why they were released? Because there's a lot of questions about the motive here. I mean, obviously, Hamas said humanitarian reasons. I don't think anyone buys that when we know what Hamas is capable of. Have you guys been able to figure out what's going on behind the scenes?
Well, I'm sure over time we will understand a little bit more. I'm sure they're being debriefed right now, and their health and both mental and physical are things that immediately have to be dealt with. And I'm sure the story will unfold as time goes on. To your question of what would be the motive, I think that we can all agree, as you mentioned, Hamas is not a humanitarian organization. I mean, that would be the joke of the month. They are a murderous mass killing machine. Therefore, if they're releasing these hostages, and I'm grateful that they did, and the Israeli people are grateful, it is only to serve one purpose, to serve Hamas. And we can see that their announcements, I've heard other news outlets that have been repeating their letter claiming that this was, in order to preserve human rights. If anybody actually believes that it's a shame, we have to remember and go back to what Hamas is and not allow ourselves to forget how this is the regime of evil.
Yeah, I mean, just go back and watch the video from the terror attacks. That's all you have to do. I mean, there's nothing humanitarian about Hamas, but it's just interesting, with what appears to be really a pending ground invasion. The first thing I thought of is this a way that they're hoping to slow you guys down a little bit?
I would say that it's probably a preservation tactic, which I think is what you're alluding to. It fits right into the Hamas playbook, which is, we've seen it unfold over the years. It's strike Israel. In this case, massacre Israelis, inflict a lot of pain, a lot of blood, kill a lot of people in the most grotesque way, flee back to Gaza. Usually, they've been taking cover under civilians, and then when civilians would die, they would raise the flag to the international community crying human rights. The international community would step in and pressure Israel. Then Hamas would go underground for another year or two, rebuild, reorganize, and strike again. Here, this is a little bit of a different tactic, but I would assume that it's playing into the same gameplay. And from our perspective, we said from the very beginning, and it was said by the chief spokesman this evening, which is reflecting the higher echelons of the army, that we are going to continue with our mission. Hamas is the bane of evil. They are dedicated in their charter to erasing the state of Israel. We cannot coexist. Therefore, we are going to move forward, completely eliminating any of their ability to do this again in the future. That's not going to stop.
Do we know where these hostages, specifically Natalie and Judith, were held? Is there any more information on that? Because we hear so much about these tunnels.
So we have done a lot of work. We have an entire section of the army that's been set up under the guidance of two major generals to the really military leadership of Israel. And they're working on identifying the locations of the hostages, who is a hostage, who is alive, and who is not. Unfortunately, there was so much carnage and the attack was so vast that there are still 200 people that have not been accounted for, meaning these numbers can change. We saw about 24 hours ago, there was a person who went into one of the many homes that had been destroyed. He went up in the attic, and up in the attic, he found the charred bodies of a mother holding her 5-year-old son that had been literally burnt alive by Hamas. And again, 2 more people who we did not know their fate. In this case, it was very, very negative, very, very painful. But the process moves forward, and we're doing our best to work this out and on a parallel track moving forward with our military objectives.
Yeah, I think we can all just hope that there's more outcomes like what we saw with Natalie and Judith. Major Doron Spielman, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.